So you guys left off in the town of Grovel last time after you got Kane his magic mech suit. Now, Kane, I did send you the specs for that mech suit.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Also, at some point, Fleetwood and Gertrude inform all of you that they have modified the deck gun on the ship to actually fire the magic mech suit out of it in order to deploy it onto the ground in rapid succession. Fleetwood also functioned a number of flares you can shoot up should you need it fired in the direction that you're in. Yeah, so that's clear, that's how that magic mech thing is going to work, so you'll have all that crap available. And now you're basically ready to leave the small town of Grovel. Everybody else, the gnome engineer that you had come over and the cleric have already left, and the magic mech suit is currently loaded up onto the Robert II.
Didn't he say that he can combine the World Piercer with his...
Yes, I'm actually going to go over that with Raka now. So, Raka, Fleetwood informs you that since Cham already has basically a super weapon, basically what Fleetwood tells you is that he's going to be able to combine the World Piercer with your crossbow, which means it's going to be a crossbow that now does, in addition to its elemental damage, which those damage dice are going to increase by 1 apiece. So, hang on a second, let me actually bring that up.
Well, the World Piercer does 5d10.
Yes, the World Piercer does 5d10 damage, but in addition to that, you're also going to be able to do an additional 2d10 of elemental damage for the different elements that combine with your crossbow. For whatever elemental damage is done, if any, or for piercing or whatever damage you decide to do to it. The only one that doesn't get the damage buff is the LSD arrow. All right. But it also means that you never have to reload this. He's going to go combine that down below deck, but as of right now, you guys are still, you still have your quest to go find the sword, which is the only item that you are missing.
Well, I don't know anybody who uses a sword in this group. We have a little midget wizard. We have a Mexican guy who likes to hide, and a lesbian. Oh yeah, and Guile, that guy.
So Ishmael basically explains that this might be the worst one to actually go get, because apparently the sword has actually come into the owning of an orc who also has 100 orc army around him, and he's not an ordinary orc, he's a very skilled fighting orc, and he has a lot of health. So he's also taken over a small area of the Empire. He actually took over a fort by himself, and the Imperials basically just haven't dedicated the time or the manpower to remove him. So he's actually going to be in the Fire Plains, which is not too far from where your current position is.
Go get him, Guile.
What are you talking about? You got the staff.
Also, by the way, Gertrude had the idea when they were storing the magic mech suit, they mounted one of the mortar cannons on its arm, so you can fire a mortar cannon from its arm.
What if we tinker with the staff in reality, so it would rapid fire constantly?
Well, here's the problem, though, is none of you guys know magically how it works, because the only person who is magically inclined is Kane. So you need to find somebody who knows how it works, which maybe you could have asked the Archmage, but you unfortunately strangled him to death.
Maybe we can use the staff of reality to turn Kermit into the full mech.
So wait a minute, you're going to convince Kane to do what?
Use the staff to fuse his actual body with the mech suit. So he will no longer have the issue of not being able to poop. And we will also find
No, he'll still have that issue. So, like I said, Ishmael explains that that's the unfortunate situation where he has the sword and he's not giving it up under any circumstances. As for what the sword does, its magical powers, the only thing he's aware of is that it apparently kind of works like a lightsaber, where it literally just slices through shit and ignores your armor.
Did he say lightsaber? Dibs.
Alright, so I mean, it's up to you guys what you want to do. You can go and follow Ishmael's advice to go get the sword, or you can go fuck off and see if you can find something else to occupy your time.
Well, we might as well just go for the weapon.
Alright, well, Ishmael points Gertrude in the right direction. She said it's not too far away. You should be able to get there within the day. So the only problem is, let's see if you let's see what you actually see when you actually run up on this whole deal. So I'm going to roll a d20 to see what exactly you find. I rolled a nat 20. If I had, that would have been funny. No, it's a 10. Okay, so basically it's kind of a normal approach. There's a little bit of cloud cover, so you're able to sort of disguise the Robert too. They're not really able to see it, even though you are actually pretty high up in the sky. So you can see over, and it looks like there's a rather large military, kind of like a fort
Compound.
that's been constructed. Yeah, it's basically a compound or a fort that's been constructed. A lot of the kind of classic designs from before. A lot of log cabin style fort with a very large wall around it, and there's a lot of little orc tents and stuff in there. There's an archery range at a part of it. Looks like there's some training grounds, and there is a very large structure that is built right behind that you think might be the command center.
What if you don't?
I say we launched a fucking golem right into the command center.
Okay, here's my question though: are you going to try and load Kane inside of it first?
Yes.
Kane, are you okay with this?
You know what? Sure, why not? I'm down to kill some people.
This is going to be awesome.
But
Okay.
but what I want to do is I want to be embraced on them, so when we launch,
That's the problem. You're getting fired out of a tube.
yeah.
You're not going to live.
Well, I'm gonna be on fucking
I
Kane.
know you're going to be on, but it's the same thing as you're standing on the end of a cannonball. You're going to have broken arms and legs. Kane's going to survive because he's going to be strapped inside the golem during this entire thing, not able to move until he pops his little rope and seatbelt thing in there off and takes command.
Is there anything around to make a parachute?
There is extra sail pieces and stuff like that. Fleetwood could very easily make you one. Do you want to make a parachute or a glider?
A parachute, because I'm gonna hook myself up to Kane with the rope. As soon as he gets launched, I'm gonna go with cut the rope and parachute down.
Okay, Fleetwood is going to craft a parachute, so I'm going to roll to see if he crafts a decent parachute. He does not craft a decent parachute. He returns to you with looks like a bed sheet full of holes. He then looks at it and says, "Hang on a second, I'll be right back." Okay, that's better. He crafts you a fashionable He crafts you a normal parachute. Nothing special. It's not it's just the regular little round one that you can jump off with. And he has it folded basically into a little knapsack. He says, all you got to do is undo the top of the sack and the parachute should fly out if you're in midair.
All right.
So he gives that to you and you can strap that on. At the same time, the mech has been loaded into the inside the cannon. Kane is strapped inside of it safe and snugly. And Cham, there has been a rope attached to a little loop on the front of Kane's mech that is also attached to your harness that has your parachute on it. So they are ready to fire as soon as you are.
All right, let's do this.
Jesus Christ. Okay, what are the rest of you going to do, by the way, while this is happening? Raka or Vash or anybody or Velnos?
I was going to assist loading up the golem in a fucking...
Okay, you do assist that. You assist Gertrude and Fleetwood in loading the mech inside of the cannon. Now, Vash or Velnos?
I'm gonna go piggyback on Val's back.
You want to are you gonna try and just grab onto him? Because at the rate that he's gonna be pulled up, you're probably gonna fly off. Rope to the mech and ride it down?
I'll hold on very tightly with a rope tied around his
What's
waist.
your strength?
My strength is 13.
My strength is 16, so I'm gonna grab him.
Okay, you're gonna help out with that. All right, so that'll help out. So you'll Velnos, when I have to do a strength roll for you a little bit later, you'll get like a +2.
Okay, cool.
All right. So and then Vash, are you gonna partake in this insanity?
Sure.
So are you gonna tie yourself to the mech too, or are you just gonna help by assisting in some other way?
I'm gonna help, I don't know, tie myself to the thing.
Okay. So what's your strength?
He doesn't even have a parachute.
Well, neither does Velnos. He's just tied to you. Well, you're holding on to Velnos, so I guess that counts as his parachute. The parachute should be fine for the two of you because he's not that heavy.
My strength is 10.
Okay, so your strength is even lower than Velnos's, which means you might die.
Okay, fuck it, I'll back out.
Okay, you can stay on the ship with Vraka and coordinate from up there, which
Yeah, I'll
actually
just stay.
which shouldn't be too bad because I think it's still within your spell attack. Right?
Oh, we can have him man the fucking cannon,
That's true. Yeah, you could man the deck gun and blow shit up down there.
which I have.
There should be like 25 shells for that.
No, I bought more. Remember?
Yeah, I know, but you used a bunch of them when you murdered all the elves.
Remember?
I have 40.
Okay, you have 40. Fair enough. You have enough. So Fleetwood and Gertrude are going to fire the cannon, and I'm going to roll to see if it... So where are you aiming exactly? Where do you want to aim?
We're going directly in the center of the fucking command center.
Okay,
Right
in the center of that
deep.
building. Okay, well,
Yes.
we'll roll a d20 for them to see how they aim. All right, they rolled a 12, so that's fairly accurate. You don't land right in the center. You actually... what happens is... Kane obviously is going to be fine because the mech is designed for this. So he actually flies out of the front. Now, Cham, you don't have to have a roll to stay on because the harness that you have is actually specifically made for this. Veldos, you just tied a rope to this, so you're going to have to roll for strength, and again, you're going to get the +2.
I'm holding on to you, brother.
Oh my god.
That was so sad.
Veldos! Okay.
I want to make a saving roll. See if
You
I
want
can
to make it to grab him?
Yeah.
Okay, make your roll now.
Oh no.
Keep
Like,
in
I
mind,
see- I
his
feel it.
strength is fairly high. His strength is fairly high. Okay, you made that saving roll. Velnos, right as he loses grip of the rope that is around his waist, you grab him and tuck him under your arm like a small child, and you just fly through the air with Kane. So
It's
you
all
guys,
right, Littlewood. It's
so
all
you
right.
guys are flying through the air. Kane, you come down, and as you're coming down, so Cham, you're at the height now where you probably want to try and cut your line. And
Which I do.
What-
Which,
okay,
It shouldn't do anything.
I just need a
because-
dexterity roll to open the pack. That's enough. All right, so you do open the pack, the parachute deploys, and you and Velnos float down. Kane, on the other hand, you immediately plow through the roof of the command center and land and smash the entire front side of it to pieces in a massive explosion of wood and dust. There's smoke that's going out into all areas of the encampment and filling up the entire inner side of the encampment, all the areas inside the walls with smoke, which, again, Cham and Velnos, you guys then parachute down into. So I'm going to roll to see how many people you actually killed with that. Okay, you killed 14 of the orcs that were in that general area with that explosion. Again, keep in mind there are 100 of them in the encampment. So basically, in that debris is also orc corpses just strewn all over the place. And you have now stopped moving, so you can take command of the mech if you wish.
Let's do it.
Fucking Hulkbuster over here.
Okay, so you unstrap yourself from your little harness set up inside the thing, and you work your way up into the controls, and your head pops out of the top. As your head pops out, you see that there are two orcs with swords that are standing probably about 10 to 15 feet away from you, but slowly approaching the area, not realizing what's happened.
I give you one choice. Surrender or die.
Are you trying to intimidate?
Wait,
Yeah.
he should have a buff because he's a fucking.
Well, that's the thing. They don't know about the mech suit yet because it's still in sphere form. He hasn't deployed it fully, so it's just looks like a little gnome sticking his head out of like a stone orb.
Roll. Okay.
Roll to intimidate.
Let's do it.
Ooh.
Oh.
Okay. They're gonna have to roll against that.
Watch him get a nat 20. Oh, shit.
They do not. They throw down their swords and immediately fall to their knees and bow their heads, begging for their lives.
Who is in charge?
His name is Bagaban.
So as soon as he says that, I want to glide down. I want to unhook and just drive my fucking sword into this dude's fucking head.
Okay, that's gonna take a dexterity roll to aim yourself. Okay, this is also that's a good enough dexterity roll to aim yourself. That's a 12. Is that your attack roll?
Sure.
Okay, so that's going to be an attack of opportunity. So you're getting a +2 to that. So that's 14. So that will hit.
Okay.
So roll for damage. Which sword are you using? The big one?
Oh, of course, big one.
Yeah, that orc is extremely dead. That orc is splattered into mush. Like, you didn't even use the sword correctly. You didn't use the sword like a slicing implement. You turned it to the side and you smashed him like a fucking fly swatter.
Pancakes.
Yeah,
Like
you
a
just
pancake.
pancaked him onto the fucking ground. He's just like a fucking pancake of orc guts and a head.
So as soon as I cut it, what happened to Velnos? Because I was holding on to him.
You're still holding on to him.
Oh.
Your arm is locked in
Uses
place. You
Vel-
did that with one arm because
He uses
the sword is
Velnos
light
as
enough
a
anyway.
weapon.
I
I'm
used
just waiting for
Velnos.
that.
You use Velnos as an improvised weapon. No, but Velnos, you still have your shadow armor on, so you
I
can
consent to this, actually.
you consent to being used as an improvised weapon. Okay, do you want to do that on the other orc? Because the other orc is now horrified.
All right. I'll like. Can I use since it's not battle right now? I'd like to use Velnos as a weapon. I like to pick him up and swing him.
Are you okay? So you're going to swing him around, but you do have enough strength to swing him around because Velnos doesn't weigh that much. Okay, so you're gonna swing Velnos around, and you're gonna let go. So I'm gonna roll to see actually where he goes. Okay,
Watch him like hit a fucking orc.
so he goes towards the orc who is still running away. So you're flying towards him in midair right now, Velnos. You have a chance to attack.
I'm gonna do it.
Okay, roll for attack.
He's going to use like his rapier, like.
Oh, you whiz right by him. You missed completely, and now you like fly in front of him. So I'm gonna roll to see how badly you hit the ground. Ooh, you hit the ground pretty bad. Well, actually, no, you hit the ground actually relatively well because that's an 18. That's a high roll. So what actually happens is as you're flying towards the ground, because that's kind of your saving roll there, you actually do a barrel roll and you come up just like a ninja in front of the orc. Are you using your rapier?
Yeah, I'm using my rapier.
Okay,
Wait.
that's a +2, which is going to be 7. He is shitting his pants, so I'm going to say it hits. It literally, like, this dude is, like, at the point where he's willing to do anything to just run away from you. So that's 10. So he only had 10 health, so you slice his throat open very quickly with your rapier, and he keels over and dies. So you've cleared that general room, but now the dust is starting to settle around the area, and the other orcs are starting to move in to where the epicenter of the actual impact is. So you can hear them, but you can't see them yet. In addition, you have not searched the remainder of the building. There could be other orcs in there because you still have not found the leader.
I'm gonna look around the room, try to make out my surroundings.
All right, so you're going to do a perception roll?
Fuck.
Damn, you do not have good luck right now, do you?
Damn, dog.
You can tell that you're in a room. That's about it. So, anybody else want to do anything? Raka or Vash, do you guys want to do anything from the ship?
Who was that guy Velnos was gonna... Am I in range to try to shoot him?
You're... Right now, the Robert is probably about 100 feet above where... Or a couple hundred feet, probably, above where the actual base is. You guys have descended a little ways.
So we're not close enough is what you're saying.
Not right now, no.
Well, then, it doesn't really look like Hodin can do shit.
Well, the only other thing you can do is you do have the magic dinghy.
Magic dinghy.
The magic dinghy is something that they added in the last when they repaired your ship in the or when they prepared your ship before. Now, normally Gertrude just sets the ship down, but she also thought it might be a good idea to get an extra talisman made so that you guys could use the dinghy if you ever wanted to leave the ship and leave it in orbit or leave it in the sky above where you were. So the dinghy can also float and you can also drive it. It just doesn't have any weapons.
Hey, Dyke, you want to ride on the boat with me?
Yeah, sure. Sure, Hodin.
Let's get on the dinghy.
All right, you guys get on the magic dinghy. Are you guys going down? Are you guys going down to the battle?
First thing Hodin does is he cranks up the bass real long.
Oh, okay. You can actually do that because Vash has his magic music box.
I'm gonna have Kira and the fucking Fleetwood man the Artie.
Yeah, they're already doing that. So basically, the only problem is you're going to have to try and mark targets for them. Now that you do have those flares that they did give you, so you might be able to mark targets with those if you want to. I could roll to see if they'll interpret that if you actually try to do it.
Okay.
You guys float down in the magic dinghy, and you notice that it appears there's a lot of orcs that are converging on the crash area. There's a lot of them. And they're in spots right now where it looks like Cham and Kane and Velnos cannot see them.
I don't want to sound racist or anything, but generally this is why you don't have a crowd of orcs around, man. Nothing but problems. Hey,
You are in range to use your weapons at this point.
hold on. Any of you fine green and yellow fellas, would y'all care to buy some weed?
Kill the ship in the sky!
And it's on a special limited time sale.
Yeah, you could get some of the woman's ass
right.
here, along with a doobie.
Yeah, not in a million years.
There are 3 orc archers that immediately take up aim at you from an adjacent rooftop.
Don't make me call Carlos.
No, they are still back on the ship. They're actually manning a deck gun right now.
What?
What?
They're manning the little mortar gun on the deck.
Oh, all right.
How's the T-Rex manning a mortar gun with them little
So
ass
the
arms?
T-Rex is actually taking his jaw and plopping the cannonballs in, and Carlos is on top of a crate and he's using his little fins to aim it. So that's what's happening there right now.
All right, so Hodin is going to throw a brick of cocaine in the air and then shoot it with his crossbow.
Okay, are you going to use one of the elements?
I mean, all he really needs to do is make the bag explode and rain cocaine.
That's true. You could use any of those arrows for that. I'm just curious if you had anyone specifically in mind.
Nah, he's not going to waste elemental arrows on the bag.
They're infinite. It doesn't matter.
Oh well, since you put it that way.
I'm just gonna play my lute in the background.
You play your lute, a very slow song, as you slowly ramp up towards the death and cocaine.
Fuck it, why not? Let's go ahead and electrically jolt it with a fucking hit the bag of cocaine with a lightning.
Okay. So you're gonna need a dexterity roll to throw the cocaine and a dexterity roll to hit it with the arrow. That's a 16. You successfully throw that cocaine bar into the air.
Nope.
Ooh, what's the... All right, so you throw it into the air and you fire one of your arrows at it, your electric arrow. You miss completely. The electric arrow then flies through the air and lands on a building. The electric disperses and actually lights the roof of the small building on fire. The roof is made out of hay. So the building gets lit on fire. It doesn't really appear that anybody's in there, but the cocaine brick then falls harmlessly to the ground, and the orcs just kind of look at it confused and not really knowing what it is. The 3 orc archers are now going to fire on the dinghy, since it is now their turn, unless Vash, you would like to do something.
Yeah, I'll get out my guitar and I'll just start jamming that shit out.
Play Freebird.
Okay, so you're just gonna, so are you trying to convey anything through the music, or are you just playing music?
Could I convey them to start killing each other?
That would be a very high. Don't you have a charm skill or something?
Yeah.
As a bard, so you have a charm spell.
Can he blast beat though?
So what you can do is you can use the charm spell on one of them to start killing the other ones. So if you want to roll for that, because I'm going to have to roll the willpower against it, so it's 1d20. So just roll a d20, and he rolled a 1, by the way, so he's probably not going to be able to resist whatever you're going to tell him to do. Oh my god! All right, we're going to reroll.
Wow.
We're going to reroll.
I've never seen a 1 for. I've never seen a 1v1.
All right, you rolled a 14. You're able to convince him, and he immediately turns to the 2 orcs to his right. The first one, he takes out a dagger from his belt and buries it in the orc archer's neck. The orc archer then proceeds to grab at his throat, and he falls off of the building and dies. The second archer then begins to grapple with him, but that does mean that all of them are now distracted, so you're not being fired at. And that is another orc corpse down. So you have now killed 17 of them in total out of the 100 that are there.
He's about to roll. He's going to do a tuck and roll to try to save his bag of cocaine.
Yeah, you stoner. Let the lesbian do all the work here.
Shut up, fucking feminist. You guys always take way more credit than you deserve.
Now it's going back to you guys, because now the orcs are starting to get much closer. So you know where they are now. You can hear them. and you can start. So they're starting to come around corners. You can see shadows, and you can hear voices not far away.
So
Kane, you still have not activated the mech suit, so you haven't started draining its power yet.
Yeah, I've been waiting for the right opportunity.
Exactly.
So my turn.
Yeah, it would be you.
I like to take
you and Velnos can do whatever you want right now because you're not technically in combat.
I like to. Do I see them? Do I know exactly where they're at?
You know roughly where they're at. You know where they're.
I like to take a flare and throw it at the general direction.
Okay. So you're gonna need a dexterity roll to throw the flare, and oh god. Okay. So where are you throwing the flare exactly? In terms of because basically what's happening is the whole front of that command center building is destroyed. You guys are kind of walking around the debris in the front, and there are about 5 alleyways that are leading into a little square area where you guys are. So couple of the alleyways you can tell are where the enemies are coming from.
I like to see if use perception for what I deem has most people.
Okay, and I'll let you keep that other roll for the throw. Okay, so you're able to discern that the larger alleyway, the one with the largest width that you can hear stuff coming down, is probably the one that's going to have the most orcs coming down it. So you throw the flare into that area. Now, I'm going to roll for Gertrude and Fleetwood to see if they can understand what you're doing. Okay, so Gertrude rolled high enough. Fleetwood has no idea. He just says, "Oh, there's a pretty light down there." And Gertrude goes, "That's them! We gotta blow up that building!" So Gertrude and Fleetwood load up the cannon, and they are ready to fire as the orcs begin coming around the corner. Let's see. Well, I'm gonna roll because they're firing. Oh,
it's a 8d10.
Yeah, 8d10. So you did. They aimed and they fired and they hit it directly. So that's going to be 8d10 damage. Holy fuck. Okay. So that whole front group of orcs, they got nukes. You just wiped them off the face of the fucking earth. And that killed another 10 orcs that were going to be coming down that particular area, because not only did the 51 damage kill 5 orcs on its own, the building collapses and the explosions from various things that were in those buildings killed the other 5. So you just knocked out 10 of them at one go. There is still one alleyway with noise coming.
And it is Velnos' turn, right?
Yes, it's Velnos' turn at this
So
point.
at the end of my turn, I like to toss one to him.
Okay, so roll dexterity to toss it over to Velnos. Velnos, roll dexterity to catch it. Okay, the toss is perfect. The catch is not. Velnos, it hits you in the face and drops onto the floor.
I swear to God.
This is why I need to give you a super weapon. This is exactly why. Yeah, so Velnos, it's your turn. So you can pick that up and you can throw it in the direction of the other alleyway that has noise coming out of it.
I'm gonna do that.
Okay, you pick it up and you throw it. Okay, that's a decent enough throw. It's in the alleyway and it's far enough away where the blast shouldn't hit you guys. So now we got to see if Gertrude and Fleetwood can load up another shell and blow these fuckers to smithereens. All right, they do not this time. So that one actually errantly flies in a different direction. It doesn't hit you guys, but it hits a little area on the edge of the base and blows one of the walls out. It doesn't really hurt or kill anybody because there's really nobody over there, but they missed the intended target. So those orcs are now coming down that alleyway. You can physically see them. It would be Kane's turn because he hasn't done anything yet.
Yeah, I do. I just want to transform and start killing shit.
So basically what happens is the mech suit, the sphere opens up on both sides and immediately sprouts 2 arms and 2 legs and a little bit of a lower torso and props itself up. So you're now promptly a little bit taller than Guile, as opposed to being like 2 feet tall. So now you're also able to move and function with the robot. It doesn't take much to actually move it around. So, Kane, now you have deployed the mech suit, so you can actually move around freely with that. It does have a movement speed of about 50 meters per turn, so you can do that. Again, it's only going to be active for 3 turns until you have to have the turn where you rolled.
Yeah. All right. Well, so we're in the middle of an all-out war, aren't we?
Basically, but they're all funneled into an alleyway coming towards you. You can tell right now that it looks like there's about 6 orcs in the alleyway that are coming towards you. Again, you just murdered 10 of them, so that's 27 total that have been taken down out of the 100. So you've gotten a quarter of them out of the way.
I'm gonna
What are you gonna do?
I'm I'm gonna shoot the staff of reality at the group.
Oh no.